Hello, welcome to my channel. So I'm very excited about this topic I'm going to be discussing. Let me tell you something. I've done research in YouTube. Mostly what I see online is people talking about, express entry, federal express entry, ways you can get your permanent residence in Canada through federal express entry. A lot of people are not going in details about provincial nominees, ways you can achieve your permanent residence through different provinces in Canada. Do you know that a lot of provinces in Canada have their own pathways that you can become a permanent resident in Canada? So I have decided to embark on this journey with my subscribers who are interested in becoming a permanent resident in Canada, to tell you, to explain to you, to show you each and every provinces in Canada, how you can become a permanent resident, how they have their pathways to help you to become a permanent resident. So I hope you're ready to go into this journey with me. But today, we're going to focus on New Brunswick, the province of New Brunswick. I am going to tell you in this video everything that you need to know about New Brunswick permanent resident pathway. Every even little details. So my advice for you is grab some coffee, grab some water, come and sit down. Let's discuss this in details. And also I have a 10-page document that I can also send to you, but I will tell you how to get that document by the end of this video. That will help you with links where you can do your application, where you can write your English test, and everything that you need to know. So hang on this video. If you have not subscribed, you're not my subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe, and please click that notification, because every week I'm going to be dropping provinces, their pathways to permanent resident. Okay, we're going to get into it. But before I start telling you each of these streams, I want to start first to tell you there are 7 important things that you need to know. 7 things. 7 things you need to know about New Brunswick permanent resident pathway. Okay, the first one is New Brunswick immigration programs offers pathway to permanent residence for foreign workers with skills, educations, and work experience needed to contribute to the province economy. So if you want to get a permanent resident in New Brunswick, at least you need to have skills. You need to have the minimum requirement of education. You need to be able to have some experience, work experience. Some of them may not even require work experience, but we'll get into that. And you need to be able to contribute to the province economy. The second thing is very important that you need to know before we go into the streams is when you are applying to many of the New Brunswick immigration program, you must be PR ready. What does it mean to be PR ready? It means you will meet all the minimum eligibility requirements and have all the necessary documents prepared for a complete and accurate application to both the province and the government of Canada. Remember that for you to be PR ready, it means that you must have submitted your federal express entry already to the federal government. Okay, you've written your English test, you have evaluated your document, and you're ready. We will get into that, but that is what it means to be PR ready. So you need to be ready. You need to be PR ready so that once they give you an invitation, you're ready to submit your permanent residence application. Right now, the third thing that you need to know before you apply is that each economic immigration program stream in New Brunswick has different eligibility requirements regarding age, language test scores, educations, and professional experience, right? So it is important to review each of these specific programs guidelines to understand or to ensure you meet the eligibility criteria before preparing your application. So that is what I'm doing today. Okay, you need to make sure that you meet the eligibility of that particular program you're planning to apply for. If you don't meet the eligibility, no miracle that is going to happen. So you need to make sure that what you're applying for, you qualify for it. Okay, are you excited for number 4? Number 4 is for your new Brunswick immigration application, you must gather identity civil status document for yourself and all your accompanying family members, including some non-accompanying ones. Because sometimes we think that, you know what, you need to prepare documents only for those who are coming to Canada with you. There are situations whereby as long as someone is your dependent, they still need to have a valid passport. That is important for you to submit your application. So very important. So these documents must be translated and notarized if not in English or French. And everyone must have a valid passport. Write this down. If you're coming to Canada, you're applying for permanent resident, your dependent, even if they're not coming with you, they must have a valid passport. Okay, so let's go to the 5th one. So the 5th one is all New Brunswick immigration program requires a minimum education level equivalent to Canadian high school diploma. So Canadian high school diploma is like WAEC in West Africa. Okay, so that is the high school diploma. And if your education was obtained outside Canada, you must provide an education credential assessment, ECA, okay, to confirm its Canadian equivalent. So what is this saying? That every application you're going to make to get a permanent resident, it doesn't matter the stream you choose as the province of New Brunswick, you require a minimum of high school diploma. Like I said before, if you're from West Africa, WAEC is a high school diploma. Okay, now you also need to evaluate that your degree, you need to evaluate that your high school diploma, you need to evaluate that your master's, you need to evaluate that your PhD if it is gotten outside the province, right? So you need to evaluate them. And which ways can you evaluate them? You can use World Education Service, WES. Okay, I have a document that I can provide to you. I have all these websites on that. Okay, the second company you can use is Comparative Education Service. The third one is International Credential Assessment Service of Canada, ICAS. So you can also use ICAS to evaluate your result. Another company you can use or services you can use is International Qualification Assessment Services. You can use them to also evaluate your degree, your WAEC, your high school diploma, your PhD, your master that is gotten outside Canada. If it's inside Canada, you don't need those evaluations. Okay. The next one you can use is International Credential Evaluation Services. You can also use them to evaluate your education. Okay, to make sure that this education that you've gotten outside Canada is equivalent to Canadian education. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, number 6, most New Brunswick immigration program streams require a valid language test in English or French. So have you noticed that mostly New Brunswick is talking about English or French? Because New Brunswick is the only bilingual province in Canada. So it's bilingual. It can be English, it can be French. Your document can be in English, your document can be in French. Okay? So administered by IRCC designated testing agency. So your English test need to be gotten from IRCC designated testing agency and less than 18 months old at the time of application. Very important. Some people, because they know that English test expires in 2 years, if you use that English test to apply in New Brunswick and it's 18 months old, you will not qualify. So it needs to be worth less than 18 months old at the time. Less than 18. 18 months is not qualified. It has to be less than 18 months at the time of application. Now, minimum Canadian language benchmark, which is called CLB, is required in all language skills, though some employers may require higher scores. So just letting you know, so some employer may require higher scores. Now, some companies you can use to write your English test, you can use IELTS General Training. So you can write IELTS General Training. Now you can also use CELPIP, okay? CELPIP. You can also use PTE Core. You can also use TEF Canada. You can also use TCF pour la Canada. Am I speaking French now? Okay, guys. So these are things you can actually use to get your English test or to write your French. So I do have in that document that I have prepared, if you need that document, I'm going to put my WhatsApp number on the description where you can test and you can get this document. It has all the requirements and compare the IELTS, CELPIP, PTE, TEF, TCF, compare the scores with CLB, okay? So like CLB4 is comparable to in reading is 3.5 in IELTS. In CLB is 4, in PTE is 33, in TEF is 306, in TCF is 342. So that is how it's comparable. So I do have the table on that document to help you. And I also have website of all these services providers that I mentioned, like the IELTS, the CELPIP, and the rest, okay, for you to be able to have access to it, and you can choose wherever you want to write your English test. But it's required for every permanent resident pathway with New Brunswick. Okay, so the last but not the least, right? Okay, so the last one is for those who the stream that you're considering may require you to show your employment letter. This is the requirement that employment letters must confirm your professional experience and meet the following criteria: written on company letterhead and signed by a responsible officer or supervisor, okay? Include the company's full address, contact details, and official seal if applicable, okay? Details your employment period, position held, duties, responsibilities, salaries, benefits, and hours work per week. Very important that if your pathway requires you to prove your experience, your employment letter must confirm these criteria. Very important. Jot this down. I do have this on the document, like I said, that I will provide to you if you need one, okay? It has everything that I'm saying here in details. Okay, it is time for us to jump into these streams. First of all, I'm going to categorize these streams in 3 different categories. And after that, we will go to each and every one of them one after the other. Okay? Are you still with me? If you're still with me and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please support me. I go a long way. I do a lot of research to make sure that I get this information for you. All you can do for me is please go ahead and subscribe to support me, like this video, and share as well. Okay, thank you. Let's go into the pathways. New Brunswick immigration program streams is divided into 3 categories. Okay, it's divided into 3 categories. The first one is the candidate streams. Okay, now the candidate streams have 4 streams inside the candidate streams. The first one is New Brunswick Express Entry Stream. It's part of the New Brunswick Provincial Nominee Program. It's linked to also Federal Express Entry System and enhances your chances of receiving an invitation to apply for permanent residence from Immigration, Refugee and Citizen Canada. Okay, so I will go in details to explain this, but I want to just first give you the 4 streams that is under candidate stream. Now, the second that is under candidate stream is New Brunswick Strategic Initiative Stream. Now, the New Brunswick Strategic Initiative Stream is the French-speaking workers with the skills, education, and work experience needed to contribute to New Brunswick economy and who are prepared to live and work in the province permanently. Okay, that is the second one under the candidate stream. Now, the third one under the candidate stream is New Brunswick Private Career College Graduate Pilot Program. Okay, now this one offers an immigration pathway for international graduates from selected 1 or 2 years program who have skills and experience priority occupations. Okay, now the program targets careers in education and social development, health, IT, cybersecurity, business administration, supply chain, logistics, and aims to help graduates live and work permanently in New Brunswick. And the last one under the candidate stream is the New Brunswick Skill Worker Stream. Now, the New Brunswick Skill Worker Stream is for foreign nationals with a job offer in New Brunswick who have the necessary skills, education, and work experience to contribute to the province economy. Candidates must meet the program eligibility requirement, have a genuine job offer from a New Brunswick employer, and intend to live and work in New Brunswick permanently. Okay, these are the 4 pathways to become a permanent resident in New Brunswick under the candidate streams. Okay, let's go to the second category of New Brunswick immigration streams. The second one is employer streams. Now, in these employer streams, there are 2 streams or 2 programs under these employer streams. One is Atlantic Immigration Program. Now, the Atlantic Immigration Program provides a pathway to permanent residence for skilled foreign workers and international graduates from recognized post-secondary institutions in Atlantic Canada who wish to live and work in New Brunswick. Now, candidates must be endorsed by a designated employer, and the program helps employers in New Brunswick fill jobs that have not been filled locally. Like I said, we will go in details and discuss each of these pathways. Okay. The second one, other employer streams, is New Brunswick critical worker. Now, this one is driven stream that requires candidates to apply through participating employers. Now, the program does not accept direct application from individuals. The application has to come from the employer. Okay, that is the second category on New Brunswick immigration program streams. So I have talked about the candidate streams, I have talked about the employer streams. Now, the third one is the business streams. So if you're a businessman, you love to invest and you would like to invest in Canada, New Brunswick is welcoming you. They want you to come and invest in their province. So if you have the money, why not? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Okay, so the third one is the New Brunswick Business Immigration Stream. Now, this immigration is an economic immigration pathway for experienced entrepreneurs who wish to establish, operate, and actively manage a business in New Brunswick with the intent to live and settle in the province permanently. Okay, this is the third streams. Okay, so we talked about the business streams, we talked about the employer streams, and we talked about the candidate stream. Okay, now let's go more in details and explain how this applies to you, how you can qualify for any of these programs that I just mentioned. Okay, so let's go into details. If you're still here with me, I hope you can go grab some water, pause this, get some water, come back, and we're in this together. Okay, so let's get into it. The first one that I will explain from all the programs that I've mentioned is the New Brunswick Express Entry Stream. Now, before you apply for this, you will first meet the requirement of at least one Federal Express Entry Immigration Program. There is Federal Skilled Worker Program, there is Federal Skilled Trade Program, and there is Canadian Experience Class. Now, these three federal programs that I just mentioned, I have actually done a video that in details explain each and every one of this class or this program. So please check out for those videos and watch them so that you can understand what this program entails if you're new to Express Entry. Okay, so this one, you have to meet that requirement to qualify to one of them. Either you are a skilled worker, a foreign skilled worker, you've worked and you have experience, you will qualify for skilled workers. If you have done any trade in Canada or you have any trade certificate, you will qualify for federal skilled trade. And then if you have worked in Canada or went to school in Canada, got your work permit and you've worked in Canada, you will qualify in Canadian Experience Class. So you must qualify in one of these. Okay, so that is important for New Brunswick Express Entry Stream. Now the second thing you need to have in mind is that you need to create a Federal Express Entry profile and be placed in the pool of the candidate through Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada. Now, what does this mean? When you're creating this profile and they ask you a question, which province, you don't need to say all province. You need to be specific that this is for New Brunswick. Okay. Once you're specific, you can be picked and be sent invitation by New Brunswick province. Okay. So very, very important that you take note of this. Change when they ask you about the province. Don't say all province. Choose New Brunswick if you're really interested in coming to New Brunswick. Now, the third thing that you need to do is that you need to submit an express of interest to New Brunswick through their INB portal. So once you go to Google and type in INB portal. You need to go there and submit expression of interest that I am interested in coming to New Brunswick, because now you're already in the federal pool. For those who are already in the pool, don't worry about changing your province in the federal pool. If you've already done that, it's okay, totally fine, so that you will open your choices, right? You say you cannot put your egg in one basket. You know what I'm saying? So what I would advise you to do is go to New Brunswick website portal, that's INB portal, and submit express of interest of coming to New Brunswick. You must have already submitted your express entry. You're already in pool and you already have your English language, you have your passport, you're ready to apply for permanent residence, because once they give you an invitation, they don't give you enough time. So you need to be ready to apply. Okay, so you submit your interest, and before you can submit your interest, there's a small requirement. Okay, so you need to have one of the New Brunswick connection. There are 3 connections. So for you to qualify to submit express of interest in INB portal, New Brunswick portal, you need to meet one of these criteria. Okay, the first criteria is New Brunswick employment connection. So individuals who have been residing in New Brunswick for at least 6 months and are either currently working a full-time job or have a full-time job offer from a New Brunswick employer. So you live in New Brunswick for at least 6 months. You're currently working full-time or you have a full-time job offer from a New Brunswick employer. And that employer do not need to get involved. As long as you have an offer letter, you do not need to involve the employer. You will qualify to apply and express your interest. There are few jobs that are not eligible on this connection. One of them is retail sales supervisors, restaurant and food service managers, food service supervisors, and cooks. These particular jobs are not eligible under this connection. Okay, so let's look at the second connection. Now, the second connection is New Brunswick Student Connection. Now, international students from designated institutions in New Brunswick who are eligible for a postgraduate work permit and meet the program criteria can apply if they have completed their studies in the past 6 months and are living in the province and actively seeking employment, or a graduate student, master's, PhD, enrolled in thesis-based program and have submitted their thesis for evaluation. This is what is called the New Brunswick Student Connection. So let me explain this more. That you were a student, you just graduated, not up to 6 months ago that you graduated. If you pass 6 months, you will not be eligible for this program. So make sure that you are submitting this interest before 6 months elapses from your time of graduation. So let's go to the third connection. So we've talked about the student connection, we'll talk about the employer connection, and the last connection is what we call the priorities connection. So individual with experience, meeting New Brunswick labor market demand may receive a letter of interest in the Federal Express entry if they meet one of the following priorities. Okay, you or your spouse have a close family member who has been a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident in New Brunswick for at least 12 months. Okay, do you have a brother who lives in New Brunswick? Do you have a sister who lives in New Brunswick for at least 12 months and they are citizen or permanent resident? You can qualify to become a permanent resident in New Brunswick. Wow. Can you imagine that? Now, the second one is you have attended an information section. So international recruitment event with the province in the past 12 months. People don't know this. You need to attend information sections, international recruitment events. So within the province in the past 12 months, or you are a francophone and work in the sector in the demand in New Brunswick. All these details in my handout. So please ask for that handout. It's only $10. Nothing much. I spent time, I got all the information, I put them in a way you understand them, I added all the links. It's only $10. Please reach out to me on WhatsApp and you can grab your handout. It will tell you all you require, the events that you need to attend, the events that are eligible that you can attend to actually qualify in this connection. Okay, so very important. So 3 of them, just to recap: employment connection, student connections, and priorities connection. Many people are qualified for the priority connection. You just need to know how it works. Okay, so very, very important. So that is everything about New Brunswick Express Entry Stream. So the next stream is New Brunswick Strategic Initiative Stream. This is another pathway that you can become a permanent resident in Canada, in New Brunswick, a very nice small city that you will love. Okay, so before applying for the New Brunswick Strategic Initiative Stream, you must meet one of these following connections. The first one is in-person exploration visit. So for you to meet this one, you need to conduct an exploratory visit to New Brunswick within 12 months before submitting your expression of interest. So this applies to candidates from outside Canada and does not guarantee an invitation to apply. Priority is based on the labor market and family connections in New Brunswick. So they will give priority to labor market, like more of the demands, right? And then they also give priority to those who have family in New Brunswick. I want to come to New Brunswick, or who want to adopt me? Okay, so this is what you need as a connection for the first New Brunswick Strategic Initiative Stream. Now, the second thing is you can either get a job, genuine job offer. So secure a genuine job offer from a New Brunswick employer. Now, the third one is New Brunswick priorities. You can apply, express of interest, and get an invitation to apply for permanent residence if you have this connection. You've completed a program of study from Université de Montréal or Collège Communautaire de Nouvelle-Brunswick. This is a French, I believe this is a French college, so if you have completed, studies from these schools within the last 6 months, reside in New Brunswick for 12 months and work remotely for a Canadian company located outside Quebec. If it's in New Brunswick, Newfoundland, but you're working remotely, that is totally fine. You will qualify. Then you will receive a letter of interest from New Brunswick Immigration Officer. So this is how you can qualify for New Brunswick Strategic Initiative Stream. I know that these informations are a lot. I get it. But I did this purposely to give you this information so that you can take your time, study them, and understand that you are qualified to come to Canada, but you don't know it yet. You qualify, but you don't know it yet. So this gives you details of things you need to know. I haven't even touched Alberta. I haven't touched Saskatchewan. We're coming to those ones, so watch out for some of other videos from next week. I'm going to be showing you all these things, how you can come to Canada. You're qualified, but you don't know about it. You just need to ask questions if you want to come to Canada. So that is everything that you need to know for now on Strategic Initiative Stream. So you may qualify for any of this program. So just study them and see, where do I fit in, right? Okay, so let's go to the next program and discuss discuss it in details. So the next one I'm going to explain to you, the next pathway is the New Brunswick Private Career College Graduate Pilot Program. So this one, before applying, you must graduate from an eligible private career college. Now, who are those who are always looking for, oh, I want school that can allow me to have postgraduate work permit. I want school that after graduation, I'm going to have New Brunswick. You have a pathway to permanent resident with a private career college. Once you're done, you can apply and get a letter. And this is guaranteed. No joke. And all these private colleges, they will give you admission. All these private career colleges, they will give you admission with less qualification. And many people are struggling. Oh, come on. This is it here. Okay? So all you need to do is just secure a genuine full-time, non-seasonal job offer from a New Brunswick employer who will support you through the New Brunswick Provincial Nominee Program. You have 90 days after graduation to obtain this in-province employment in priority occupation related to the field of your study. So the good thing about this is that you can study healthcare, early education. Those things are jobs that you can get quickly, right? So in the document that I have, I listed all these things. So get one of them, study it, and it would literally help you with all the information you need. So this is New Brunswick Private Career College Graduate Pilot Program. So two things you need to know. You need to secure admission and graduate from a private career college, and then you need to find a job. And once you find a job in your field, you will be eligible to get a provincial nominee. Okay? And then you can apply for your permanent resident. Okay, so the next one in our list is New Brunswick Skill Worker Stream. Now, before you apply for express of interest on this stream, you must obtain a genuine, unconditional, full-time, year-round, non-seasonal job offer in eligible occupation from a New Brunswick employer who will support you through the New Brunswick Provincial Nominee Program process. So this one, you will get a provincial nominee certificate to be able to submit your permanent resident. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now, the next one is New Brunswick Business Immigration Stream. So this one, for you to apply under this stream, you must be age of 19 to 59. It's not negotiable, okay? Your age will be between 19 to 59. Sir, if you're 60 years old, please get your son, work with your son and let him apply, okay? But if you're within the age of 19 to 59, you're good to go, okay? You need to have a minimum language level of CLB4. Now, how does TLB4 translate to IELTS LPIP? Please, I have this in my details in this document, in this handout. The handout is only $10. Just purchase it, you will be fine. And you can use it to get all the information you need, okay? Have at least a high school education. So like I said, high school diploma is equivalent to, for people who are from West Africa, WAEC, West Africa Examination Council, right? So, and you need to demonstrate a personal net worth of at least 500,000 Canadian dollars. If you should have that money, you should be okay, right? And if you're looking into farming business, it will be 300,000 Canadian dollars. Okay. Now, the next thing you require is that you need to have experience in business ownership and at least 51% ownership and supervising to employees in the past 2 years. Or you are a senior management supervising at least 2 employees in the past 2 years. These are the requirements. And then you can submit a business plan with at least 150,000 in eligible investment and create 1 full-time job. Okay? And then with that, you just need to score minimum of 65 points. So if you have this, you can actually come to Canada as a permanent resident through New Brunswick Business Immigration Stream. Okay, let's go to the next one. and that is the Atlantic Immigration Program. So this program provides a pathway to permanent residence for skilled workers and international graduates from recognized post-secondary institutions in Atlantic Canada who wish to live and work in New Brunswick. So the candidate must be endorsed by a designated employer, and the program helps employers in New Brunswick to fill jobs that have not been filled locally. Okay, this is important. So for the foreign worker immigration application under Atlantic Immigration Program, endorsement is important. So employer must endorse the position for the foreign worker. That's one. Now there is all process how the employer can be endorsed. The employers, they know that already. So you want to make sure that the employer give you the endorsement. Now the foreign worker can apply direct to Immigration and Refugee Canada for permanent residence and may receive a temporary work permit while they are waiting for their PR. Okay. Now requirements for your PR: a valid endorsement certificate from New Brunswick. If a work permit is needed, a work permit referral letter from the province. Employee must register in the federal employer portal and submit job offer and pay a compliance fee. And then submit a complete application, including detailed reference letter, valid language assessment scores, and proof of education with education, credential, assessment, and Canada equivalent. Very important. Okay, so these are what is required for you to qualify for AIP. And this AIP program is also available in Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. All the Atlantic provinces offer the same program. So we will go ahead and discuss each of these provinces, and I will have handouts for each of these provinces. I will have a detailed video like this for each of these provinces, all the stream to the offer, so that it can actually help you understand where you qualified and how you can come to Canada and become a permanent resident. Okay, so let's go to the last one. We finally made it to the last. If you're still here with me, man, you are the hero. You are the real deal. The last one is the New Brunswick Critical Worker Pilot. I did leave the best for the last, but this is the last one. And just to let you know, this is an employer-driven program where candidates must apply through participating employers. So the program does not accept direct application from individuals, and I have the list of employers that are currently participating in this program right now. So you can always check out their website and see if they are hiring. Okay, they are participating in this critical worker pilot because they need workers. That's why they've registered. They need foreign workers. One of them is Coke Aquaculture. Okay, JD Ivan. Okay, Groupe Saveur. Some of these are French. Groupe Westco, Imperial Manufacturing Group, and McCain Food Limited. They're all listed in the screen. Check out their website. They are always hiring and they are looking for foreign workers. They've registered for this program, and if they give you a job offer, they will be the one to submit your application for you. Okay, so thank you so much. You made it to the last. Thank you. Please, if you have not still subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, give me a comment. What do you think about this video? What is your question? I will be looking at the comments. I will be answering your questions. I will make a WhatsApp number available for you to reach out to get the handout. Now, this number is strictly for the handout, not for questions. If you have any question, put them on comment sections. I will answer them. If you're interested in the handout, reach out. I will send you a soft copy. It's not a hard copy. It's a soft copy of the handout, and it's as low as $10. It has all the streams, all the pathways, the requirements, the website you need, how to evaluate your result, how to choose the best company or the best organization or services to write your English test, and all those informations that you would need. Everything that I've said in this video, I put it down in that document. Okay, thank you again for watching. Look out for another province. I should be considering looking at Alberta next week. So look out for Alberta. It's coming your way. Everything you need to know about a better pathway to permanent resident. Okay, thank you again. This is Chino TV. Thank you for watching.